Hey everybody, I suddenly realised I've got a sort of blotchy thing in the corner of my phone just when it tells me that I'm going live, so I wasn't sure if I'm on, so here I am. I hope you've all had a great week, and sorry about yesterday. I was doing something really important, and of course for the life of me today I cannot even think what I've done this morning, let alone yesterday. I was running a workshop. That's it. I promise. I wasn't just loafing about the place, but I was running a workshop. So, lovely, wonderful women in this group. Thanks so much for joining me either now or later if you've got time to watch the replay. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of feedback from World Menopause Day, because I think the buzz and the energy and the press and the media and everything in the UK and the US was really great. I mean, lots and lots of awareness raising was done, and I think issues start a lot with celebrities, because there's been some pretty hardcore journalists and well-known actresses who've been out there in the last couple of years saying, no, my menopause was hell, is hell, and I needed help and it wasn't there, etc, etc. So done a lot to raise the profile, which has been brilliant. But I think what struck me after the great day, because I was part of it and really enjoyed all the positive aspects of that sort of designated day, what struck me after is, of course, you're doing this raising of awareness and doing all your publicity and doing your promotions and writing the articles because there's a really ghastly situation going on. And the really ghastly situation is for women, millions of women, because of menopause symptoms. So it's great that there's more awareness, but there's a gap always between the raising and awareness and the actual day-to-day reality. So I just wanted to give you some data and then ask you some questions. So I was really struck because actually I looked at the data from the British Menopause Society. I think I mentioned it last week as well. And they'd done a big survey. And there's two things that I think were, well, there's two or three things. It was all very interesting, but I think particularly for this group, it's related to work and a couple of other things. One was of the women surveyed, half said menopause was a negative experience. 33% had done nothing to either get support to reduce or prevent symptoms. They just didn't do it. 45% said there was hideously negative implications at work. And then there was another, there wasn't actually a statistic for this, but there was a big cohort of women and men actually who said that they were absolutely not comfortable talking about it at home or at work. So I think that's interesting, because you know how much I bang on about this, is that, this is a third of your life that we are in. Menopause phase is actually fantastic. I know perhaps, at the moment, not everybody's thinking, oh yeah, I'm loving it to death. But you should. We all should. It's a great phase, and we should absolutely be rocking it. God, I can't believe I said that. I don't usually use that word. But it's what interests me is people not choosing to get help and support. And so my question to you is, because obviously you all have in this group, is what prompted you to join a group or other groups or whatever else, you've done? Where do you get your info from? And how do you prioritize the actions that you're taking? Because I've asked a lot of questions this week about, well, what actions are you taking? Because that's the problem with info. Information is great, and I had a lot of information for years, and it kind of swirled around in my brain, making me feel even more overwhelmed. You've got to somehow get from the info stage to the action stage, and how do you prioritize that? I'd really like to know from you, if you've got time to tell me. And how are you monitoring your systems, which is why I sent you that brain fog tracker, because like anything that you do at work, if you have a project, how do you monitor it? You can't just sort of have, well, I think it's this or I think it's that. You've got to be a bit more concrete, haven't you? So, and I was also interested in the wording of the British Menopause Society. It's like, okay, you've got these symptoms, so how can you reduce them? And then how can you prevent them either happening again or prevent other ones? So I just want to, really, it's quite a short live today, I just want to ask you those questions, and I'm going to come back to them because I think that certainly what I found was taking action. Well, it sounds so easy really, doesn't it? But actually it's quite hard, and you need to know what action to take when, because otherwise they're all a bit random. And I'm quite interested to know from you about where you get your info from, because what I found myself was sort of lurching from one media headline to another, and then one would say 8 things for this and 4 things for that and 5 things for that. You'd be there scratching your head and thinking, oh, line, I've got to do this, got to do that. And again, the lists get overwhelming, and which bit comes first? And that is what's missing for women. You need a systematic approach, symptom by symptom, hierarchy of needs, hierarchy of symptoms, how do you address them, what's underlining it all, etc., etc. So my question really, or an offer to you, to some of you, if you're interested, is I have sent out the brain fog tracker, and I know Juliet was doing a noble job trying to print it off and then trying to use it, and I think a couple of the rest of you were as well. I was thinking, might any of you be interested in doing it together? So maybe on Monday, tracking it for 7 days, so printing it off and then sending it to me, and then I can give you some comments, and then we can look at the comments every day. So you're actually getting a bit of support and a bit of accountability to do it. Now I can do this with maybe 4 of you. So if you're interested, just send me a private message, I don't know, within the next sort of 3 hours. And I'll also put the question up in the group, and I think that it would be a really nice way to show how some of those hidden saboteurs are lurking, where they are and how they lurk, and come up with some of the things that, like I keep speaking about as well, which is these things that a lot of women are doing unwittingly to make symptoms worse, simply because the right information is not out there, because it's all quite muddled, quite confusing and a bit overwhelming. So if anybody's interested, and if you like the sound of that, send me a private message, and I think it would be great fun to get stuck in next week. And then that is one way of feeling that you're really getting on top of a symptom and not sort of lurching from day to day. So I'd love to hear from you. Obviously, reply when you've got a minute, listen to this when you've got a minute, let me know about the brain fog tracker. And obviously, if you actually do want to go straight to more support and help and work with me, then just click somewhere there, well, I don't know, up or down or sideways on this page, to have your 30-minute call to see if I can help you. So loads of yummy love, have a great weekend, and talk to you soon. Bye.